And if you just go back to page 5 of that Exhibit 1.
You need to turn the page, Victor.
No, that one. Just page 5. And you see there's a definition of Balco?
Yes.
On 16, and it says that the term Balco refers to a number of things, but at the last sentence it says as well as Conti individually.
Yes.
So you understood that when there was a request to Balco, they were asking about anything you had personally, in your personal capacity, right? And am I correct that it's your claim that Shane Mosley paid for some of the items he received from you by check?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you maintain copies of your bank statements?
Generally, I do, yes.
Did you go check through your bank statements to see if you had any check from Shane Mosley?
You know, I don't think I even had those bank statements from that time frame. We moved our office from Burlingame down to San Carlos, and generally deposits, my recollection is they don't even send me copies of the deposits unless you pay for them. I also don't recall whether I just cashed the check at the counter or if there was a deposit. So.
When did you move your offices?
There was quite a bit of moving. Once Balco was raided in 2003, there was quite a bit of chaos there and moving of documents from that office to storage, and from storage back to that office, and then from that office to another office in San Carlos, maybe 10 miles south. So there was quite a bit of movement going on there around the time frame that I was incarcerated for 4 months.
Judge, I'm sorry. Victor, you're starting to sound like a New Yorker with the speed. The stenographer has to take it down. Okay.
When was Balco raided?
September 3rd, 2003.
And shortly after that, am I correct, you started to move documents?
I don't know if you would say shortly after. It could have been even in 2005. It may have been as much as a couple of years later, initially.
And you met Mr. Mosley in July of 2003, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Did you go through any prior bank statements to check if you had copies of any documents?
Yes, I looked back for bank statements.
Okay. And did you check for the period of July, August, and September of 2003?
Yes, and I didn't find anything from that time frame.
So it's not that you don't think that you had it, it's that you looked and there were no documents.
I didn't find Wells Fargo bank statements from 2003.
Right, and you were banking at Wells Fargo at the time?
That is correct.
And what accounts, in what names did you maintain accounts there?
In my name, and which would have been the only one. I think there's a personal account, and then there's a Victor Conti consulting account as an individual, and then there's Snack System Inc., which is my business account.
Okay, and you're still banking at Wells Fargo?
Yes.
And did you make any requests of Wells Fargo to give you copies of your July, August, or September 2003 banking statements?
No, I did not.
Okay.
My vague recollection is that I just cashed the check. I don't think I deposited it.
Mm-hmm. And to whom was the check made out to?
It was made payable to me.
Okay. did you make a search for emails related to, in any way, to Mr. Mosley?
From that, back in that time frame, or from any time frame?
From any time frame.
I don't know that I have any emails related to Shane Mosley from any time frame.
How about with respect to your proposed book? Do you have any emails?
There may have been some back and forth between Nathan Jendrick and I, but typically once we communicated and he drafted a chapter that would have involved Shane Mosley, and it was melted into, came back to me for review and a draft chapter, then there would be no need for me to keep any earlier communications.
How about emails with anyone at Skyhorse?
There could have been some emails back and forth at different stages as things were submitted with Skyhorse. I wouldn't have saved those, but there could be.
Were there any documents, attachments to emails that you saved relating to communications either with Mr. Mosley's people, Skyhorse?
Who would Mr. Mosley's people be?
Well, who did you meet? Did you meet anyone when Mr. Mosley came to see you at Balco?
Daryl Hudson, his trainer.
Do you have any emails with Daryl Hudson?
No.
Between the commencement of litigation by Mr. Mosley against you in San Francisco to today, did you have any email communication with Mr. Hudson?
No.
Did you have any telephone communication with Mr. Hudson?
No, I have not talked to him or emailed him, had no contact of any type.
Okay. And with respect to any attachments from emails that were between you and Skyhorse, or you had an agent, Molly Glick, you and Molly Glick, or you and any reporters about the Mr. Mosley, did you retain any of those attachments?
No, I don't really recall. Nothing that I retained. Generally, to the best of my recollection, any discussions about Shane Mosley would have been with either Lance Pugmire at the Los Angeles Times or possibly Terry Thompson at the New York Daily News asking me questions.
Any other reporters at the Daily News?
I don't think about Shane Mosley, no. I mean, the other reporter that I have had contact with is Nathan Benton, but I don't think regarding Shane Mosley, no.
Okay, and do you recall when you spoke to any reporters, were you calling from your office or were you calling on your cell phone? Or from your home?
Well, generally I was at my home, and generally when reporters would call me, they would call on my cell phone.
Do you maintain copies of your cell phone bills?
You know, they used to give me more detailed copies of my phone records, but they don't anymore.
Your testimony is that you don't get a bill from your cell phone company detailing calls that were made to you or received?
I do not now, no.
Well, do you...
Just a while back, they discontinued giving an itemization in terms of the phone numbers. I don't know why. I used to get, and they just discontinued.
When did they discontinue that?
I'd have to guess maybe a year or so ago.
Who is your cell phone carrier?
AT&T Wireless.
Okay.